This is the first fight versus the guild Palladia. This one I got really unlucky.
Give up already.
You'll see.
You'll lose no matter what.
And yeah, so no strip on the Kayron, no silence on the Charles, only silence Roz.
Victory is
But as I'm doing these guild wars where it's more kind of cleave, of course RNG is going to be a factor of it, and that's why cleaving is not really a really good option, especially against high-end guild war. Not all the time, at least. The blind down at Charles is good. This Kayron proved to be a very tanky, actually. I noticed the HP after he had that turn. 12,000 HP. It is like it was really hard to kill him without the silence or even the defense break from Tenebria. Good thing I did get the luck on the Alexis basket there. But there would be nothing I could do here. It was on Aaliyah's knife, and my Broman had damage. The only person that's like exempt from any sort of damage here would be my Tenebria, which she's tanky enough. So extends his immortality here. So extra risky. I had to hit that Roz anyway. Not much I could do. But good thing my Tenebria was tanky and in full health, so. Nole has knife proc, but it did kill my RB. So I lost 2 good heroes in this fight. Very risk. This one again, DN, CR, and SSB. I'll probably skip down this one a bit. There, don't think it got risky, so yeah, I'm just gonna skip it. So just in time to see SSB do this. It was a tanky ML Ken at the end of it. I think it was like a pretty high HP. As you see, I did like 7.8k there. He didn't even die. But of course, that would mean that he lowers his attack to be that tanky. That's it for that one. The second fight. Here I was seeing if my Athletica had faster speed than this series. For this one it did. Although this part was kind of scary because I'm just like, oh, okay, so speed tuning wise, not great, because the 3-man in Guild War means that the CR push is way lower than in a 4-man team for my Athletica. Luckily, full resisted Singelica, which is one of the struggles for really well built series, is to have the effectiveness to make it really good. My Singelica has 200 effect resist, so either I got really lucky or his series was just right under. It also didn't strip my attack buff on my Specteni, which is super fortunate, especially for this fight. Otherwise, it would be a super risky one. I was thinking of like a Remnant Violet or something instead of a Specteni here, just to one-shot the RB. But in case it was a tanky RB and I couldn't kill him all for some reason, I decided to go with Specteni so I could get 2 hits. That guarantees a kill on RB. The pusher didn't matter, everybody was still close enough to the 100% CR. Athletica, super easy. Yeah, so Landy, again, no notes. I didn't know what kind of Landy this was, but I saw Landy, so I'm just like, okay, I want to test this, right? So my whole thing with Landy when she was released was that, you know, she gets more damage the more buffs you have, but I'm just like, can you eat through anti-crit, can you eat through barrier, can you eat through shield buff? And to me, like defense break, attack buff, and then you attack, it's always like the easier way to do this, do heavy damage. So when Landy came out, and she's a limited hero, I did a review on her, or my thoughts, and a lot of people was saying that no, she's really good. Now I'm not saying that just because this hero ran a Landy and it like failed to kill my blue units that she's bad. But it was the concern I had when I initially thought of her kit. I felt that was kind of odd. She didn't provide any strip. She needed more buffs, so you wouldn't want to, you know, put a strip with a defense buff as much. Like, so it's like counterintuitive. Anyways, so basically I ran the C Armin SSB DN comp here, but I went with a Crow on Aureus for maximum damage absorption. I didn't want him to lower the damage. I wanted him to have the lowest HP like all the time. That was the idea. So the Aureus is mainly for DN, otherwise SSB already does an Aureus effect and you can go with an Adamant Shield. But that's if you want to keep SSB alive only. So my idea here was just to, you know, bring down Crow's HP as low as possible, use him as a DPS, maybe finish the Ruel, maybe finish the ML Ken. I decided to go for the ML Ken there. You just saw a couple seconds earlier, just because I think that he would have been really difficult to take out. And Ruel had already used all her best heals. So Landy to me, because the first couple hits weren't super strong, so I'm just like, yeah, okay, damage is handleable. Like just through Crow and DN, I should be able to sustain the fight, which proved to be the case. I did forget how quick she can turn cycle though, based on how many buffs, and since I have DN and Crow, both can cycle buffs really quick. I was definitely kind of fighting for time here. She's also really fast with speed buff and the CR push on her S1. So you guys will see, I think she does some damage to my SSB here, and I was pretty surprised at the damage. Like 6.2k, that's actually a lot of damage. Granted, my SSB is not RTA, like she's Wyvern build, so her defense is low, but still that's pretty impressive with 30% damage here. That S1, no attack buff either, so I have to say that that's probably the scariest part. That did scare me a bit. But the S3, I mean, without the great attack buff, didn't really do much. Not quite sure if Portia would be better there or greater attack buff. I think greater attack buff myself. As the last fight, this proved to be probably one of my most clutch Guild War. Although I was going like very risky in terms of like the way I'm playing, like try to be as fast as possible, or you know, SSB auto cleave or some kind of cleave. Here I was looking at, I'm like, okay, triple dark and the two other damage dealers, or two other heroes outside of Remnant Violet won't do damage. I have a suspicion though that this Remnant Violet was either on a counter set or maybe a lifesteal set, because it's relatively slow. My main Chloe is at about 200 speed and he's not even close, so either lifesteal set or counter set. If it was counter set, it would have been dangerous because I may have missed him on the second hit and maybe he wouldn't have died with Melissa. I was looking at it, I'm like, yeah, like ML Haste can do like good damage, pure HP damage, but like, you know, Water's Origin on made very safe, and they would only go for result single target after. So even if I had a revive buff, like ML Haste wouldn't proc his barrier. That was the thought behind this one. And then Oxalots actually did a lot of work here because of the speed that he had his ML Haste and his FCC at. I definitely turn cycle a lot.
Did you think you could outdo me?
I think yeah, so my Melissa at this point of the fight, if you're wondering, the S1 is no Mola, absolutely no Mola. I've been only using her so far to take out Remnant Violet teams, so I haven't invested in the S1. I don't think, I mean, depends how she's built. Like right now Remnant Violets are way faster, so my Melissa is like 240 speed, and some Remnant Violets are faster than that. So like if you're using with a pusher like a Oxalot, you may as well like make it really slow, I think. And I'm not quite sure how I feel about her right now. Like she's really good, especially when Remnant Violet was like fresh and she got her buff. She was really good. But now I'm kind of regretting the Mola into the S2, S3. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it yet. Like I do use her, she's super solid against Remnant Violet, but in team comps where Remnant Violet like usually resides,
I won't lose
she doesn't have any other strength past killing the Remnant Violet. That's what I found. In Arena, in Guild War,
Get out of my way.
this one was an exception just because, again, like I said, I felt there was only that one damage threat, which was Remnant Violet.
Do you know anything about that? Enough playing around.
So damage from S3 into S2 is quite a bit. This FCC was actually really tanky too. So I think therefore had low speed. Yeah, 30,000 HP. I'm pretty sure his defense is at least
Should I
like,
fight like lots?
you know, 1,500, maybe even 1,600, 1,700.
Super me! Don't ignore me, Sammy! I have nothing to say to you.
So I was just like chipping it down from at this point.
I won't lose to anyone. Now's my time.
Oxlot's
to
putting in the work.
I have things to do.
So for the second fight, because if you guys have noticed, I had some mouse clicking. I forgot to mute the microphone that was beside me for these voiceovers. So for this one, I muted the mic, but I also muted the sound, like the in-game sound. So you got to listen to this one. It is so the concept here is obviously F-Flick into C-Dom, really good for dual push. Blaze Dingo good here as well for cleave invincibility, and you got the souls from C-Dom. I chose not to use the soul burn on C-Dom. And here for the reset, I have over 100 effectiveness for sure, and about 120. And the Ruel did resist, so very high resist. Or she got lucky, I'm not quite sure. This part became a bit tricky. F Cleary now will have to soft provoke Athletica because the other two are in invincibility. So Blaze Dingo comes in to save the day again. That invincibility forces the AI to have to target anyone else who is not in invincibility. And then we kill off the F Cleary there with C-Dom being attack buffed. That would definitely do a lot of damage. Here was a bit risky, got really risky. Obviously the pushback, and then the untargetable Specteni got one free turn because that Ruel didn't break my skill null. She had to heal herself. Broke the skill null, both resisted, no poison. Super lucky as well. Water's Origin on this one proved to be a bit more difficult, but the great attack buff on Blaze Dingo is really strong. Has to attack the C-Dom, and here 2 attacks. I thought I was dead there, honestly. These 2 heroes are super squish. They all focus on damage. So I really don't know how I survived, but I got lucky, I think. And again, the Water's Origin proved to be difficult. Blaze Dingo come to rescue, and here was perfect because like I'm like, okay, well I have to wait one more turn. Ruel has one more turn on the S1 before she can start using her bigger heals again. And then Specteni can't do anything. The poison wouldn't matter on our invincibility turn. And I can soul burn, so I'm like, oh yeah, it's over. Because now I can cleave with Blaze Dingo. And then Specteni dies no matter what. So that was a super risky fight. I was not expecting that kind of clutch, actually. It was not calculated. But that's it for that. So that was the Guild War Iggy versus Palladia. I'm gonna end this for the video recording. If you guys have Discord, check out the Discord server. Follow me on Twitter, subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.